The main conclusion is that we need to do more to do a good job of nitrogen management than what we're currently doing. That's because there's a lot of differences in how much nitrogen comes out of the soil at different points in the landscape in different years, and there's a lot of differences in how much we lose between when we apply it and when the crop needs it in different years. And the question is how to manage that. The things that we've tried that are kind of pre-plant have not been very successful. The main thing that we've tried that has worked is in-season sensing. That could be either imagery or onboard sensors, but that's mainly what we're working with at Missouri is the onboard sensors to sense the crop and either put on a high rate when it sees stress or a low rate when it sees low amount of stress. And it's going pretty well so far. The fields where we did it this year, because it was in-season application, came out pretty good because a lot of pre-plant applications didn't last for corn this year. There's a tremendous amount of nitrogen deficiency across the Midwest, and it was a deficiency that could have been taken care of. So that was another thing I covered, was urging people, figure out a plan, get a plan B for when you lose the nitrogen that you applied. What are you going to do to take care of that? And then the last thing I talked about a little bit was some of the additives, and mainly agrotane and ESN, which I feel both have some places in a good program and that are pretty new technologies. Yeah, and everyone wants to do it differently. We work with a lot of different growers, and some of them are doing the in-season nitrogen with a tractor, and some of them are doing it with something more high clearance. And they have different ways. If they were going to put on some low pre-plant, some of them do it with a herbicide, and some might do it with their P&K, and those are all good systems. I'm really fine with any of them. In fact, I'm actually, if you're going to do it by the time it's somewhere between knee and thigh high, I'm fine with not even putting on any pre-plant. Occasionally you might get burned by that, but most of the time you're going to do just fine with that, unless you're maybe on a really light soil. But to give you more flexibility, I'd rather see 40 to 60 pounds out early. It fits the southern areas better because there are more people already side dressing in the southern areas, especially southeast. The whole southeastern U.S. there's a lot of side dressing of corn and a lot of in-season nitrogen application to pretty much every crop because they get so much in-season rainfall that they cannot get away with all pre-plant on their crops. And so they're more set up machinery-wise, and they're more set up with in terms of attitude, and we can do it and we need to do it. But the people that we've worked with in North Missouri and a number of the people that I've heard about, even on points north of that, are doing very well with it, I think, and I don't see any reason why it doesn't work there. And for those people this year across Iowa, southern Wisconsin, much of Missouri, there was so much rain in April, May, and June that a lot of the pre-plant nitrogen was gone, and the people that were using this kind of an approach didn't lose all that pre-plant. They had a low pre-plant out, and then the nitrogen they put on went into the crop.